Drunk, drive sober, or get pulled over. Here's the voice of the Seminoles, Jeff Culhane.
All right, here we go, back on a Monday night for another edition of Inside Seminole Basketball, live from Glory Days Grill in Tallahassee. Welcome in, Seminole fans. We are here for the next hour talking all things Florida State hoops. It is our final edition of the season. We've got some fun things coming your way over the next 60 minutes as we break it all down for you. Of course, here from the head coach Leonard Hamilton and so much more. As the Noles last week split their two games. How amazing was that comeback win at Wake Forest last Wednesday night, huh? How about that? Impressive to say the least. And getting ready Wednesday night here at the Tucker Center, the Miami Hurricanes are in town Wednesday evening. A later tip at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Without further ado, let's bring on the star of the show. A big round of applause for the Hall of Fame head coach, Leonard Hamilton, everybody.
I'm speechless.
Thank you. Coach, we've got an hour. You can't be speechless right now.
It's hard for me to be speechless.
I know.
I look around and see my players here. And I see Malik out there hugging everybody, walking up down here, But he puts that smile on. He's a charmer.
That's right.
I see a bunch of guys in here that a few minutes ago I was speaking very loudly to them. So now they're here with smiles on their face.
For those that are not aware, the practice just wrapped up a little bit ago. Coach, we surprised him a little bit tonight. The entire Florida State men's basketball team is here in attendance this evening, making their way in. The staff is here as well, managers, graduate assistants, coaching staff with us in attendance. You had no idea, right?
I had no idea, none whatsoever. Y'all got me, no doubt about it. Yeah, you kind of surprised me, and I hope I don't break down and start crying.
It doesn't happen often. We get one by you.
I get sentimental when I see these guys,
Yeah. I understand.
Sometimes sad.
Sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes sad. You see these guys come in here and here for you at your show. What are the things that come to mind, Coach?
Well, when you're coaching, you develop those relationships with your players, and sometimes it's hard to maintain, that relationship because it bleeds into personal relationships where you realize that not only are you coaching them to be better basketball players, but you develop relationships where as they go through their life, you need to try to do the very best you can in helping them grow and mature and give them the wisdom of your experience that you've gained through players throughout the years. And so for them to be here, it says a lot to me, but it means an awful lot because of these guys mean the world to us, and I know to me personally. We recruited them, and we should be a part of each other's lives for many years to come. Like for instance, I went to University of Tennessee Martin in 1968, and I have 17 of those people who I had relationship with in '68 that will be coming to my last basketball game.
Wow.
My point is that you develop those relationships, and it appears to be a 4-year deal, but it ends up being a 40 and 50-year relationship, and hopefully we'll have that same type of relationship with these guys as they move through their careers, and we can be a part of being there to be at their weddings and meet their fiancés, and I might be able to hold one of them. I might be Uncle Leonard to Malik Ewing's first baby. Well, I'll be holding him in my arm, taking pictures. Okay.
Malik already has his hand over his face for our radio crowd listening in right now. Everybody that talks about playing no matter what sport it is, they don't necessarily remember the wins and losses. To your point, it's about the relationships and the time spent in the locker rooms, the time on the buses, the time, just spending time together overall that you always remember.
Well, I wish that the rest of our society, not only in the United States and around the world, would develop the relationships that you enjoy in athletics, especially as a basketball team. I mean, because, you're competing. They don't worry about the color of your skin. They're all Seminoles. and they develop that love and respect for one another, and that lasts forever. And if our society mirrored the basketball teams, the football teams, the baseball teams, and how we related to each other in the world, I think we'll have a better place. And that's how close you become to these guys who you develop relationships with, and who they develop relationship with as they develop their relationships with their teammates.
Yeah.
So it goes beyond just the wins and the losses. Yeah. And so I'm happy to see him here, and hopefully we can finish this season in the right way.
Absolutely. We've got a lot of things to talk about tonight on the program. Coming up a little bit later on, speaking of spending a lot of time together, you and Stan Jones, your associate head coach, have spent a little bit of time together.
Just a little bit.
A little bit of time together over the years. Coach Jones is going to stop by the show today. He's going to be with us on the program for a segment, and we're going to talk about you and Coach Jones, your time together. He told me a story about when you first met. It was at Lawrence Joel Veterans Memorial Coliseum in Winston-Salem, where we went and won that game last Wednesday night at Wake Forest. We'll have Coach talk about that first meeting between Leonard Hamilton and Stan Jones over 30 years ago. That's coming up on the program. Our fan question from the crowd tonight, folks, is from a special guest as well. If you're a Hall of Fame head coach, you have got to have a Hall of Fame person by your side and then some. Mrs. Claudette Hamilton is in the house here tonight with us. She is going to put Leonard Hamilton on the hot seat. That's right. Now you're sweating. Oh, boy. That's coming up a little bit later on in the program. And we'll hear from some of the players here this evening and so much more. With that said, let's get to our truest hero of the game from the win over Wake Forest. As you talk about, it's always a collective team effort, but we have to pick one guy. He hit the game-winning three, the go-ahead three with 12 seconds to go. Taylor Bull Bowen, ladies and gentlemen, coming back off an injury, hit some big shots in that game, helping Florida State come back down 16 points. There it is right there on the TVs as we're watching it last Wednesday night. Taylor, our truest hero of the game, and we've talked about his improvement coach throughout his sophomore season here, and Taylor Bull Bowen, a key piece, as many of these guys are, obviously, to your team.
Well, two things I want to mention. In the first place, if my wife is here and I'm on the hot seat, I'm accustomed to being on the hot seat all the time. So this is not anything that would be unusual for me.
There you go.
I stay on the hot seat, But as it relates to Taylor, Taylor is just growing in the game. He's understanding how to take advantage of his skills that he's been blessed with. He's extremely athletic. He plays awful hard. He's a competitor. And he's developed a perimeter shot that he has a lot of confidence in. And so I have no doubt in my mind if we get him a good look and is uncontested, he's shooting one of the highest percentages in the ACC. So he stepped up and knocked that shot down, and it made a big difference in that period of the game. And we all had a fun time in the locker room.
Absolutely. Taylor Bull Bowen in his last 9 games, 50% from behind the three-point line, knocking down that three-point shot. Hey, when you work with someone who knows a lot and cares even more, you're unstoppable. So start feeling like it today. Visit Truist.com/care. Truist, leaders in banking, unwavering in care. Truist Bank, member FDIC. And our program also brought to you in part by the folks at ABC 27. Get free local news and weather 24/7. Just search WTXL on your favorite streaming device and watch local news and weather on your time. Just getting started, live from Glory Days Grill in Tallahassee. Coming up next, we'll start to talk with Coach about the matchup against Miami coming up on Wednesday night. Just getting started here at Glory Days Grill in Tallahassee. Back and more after this timeout.
With Jeff Culhane.
Packed house here tonight at Glory Days Grill in Tallahassee. We got a great crew. The Florida State men's basketball team is here. The entire staff, all of the folks, managers, graduate assistants, everybody's here tonight. We appreciate everybody coming out and joining us here for our program this evening. We have a lot of great things coming your way on the show. A couple of items of note for the upcoming home games. The game Wednesday night versus Miami, it's a 9 p.m. Eastern tip. The Seminole Battalion will be in attendance. The FSU, how about this? The FSU Army ROTC game ball will be delivered from the rafters on Wednesday night, and I'm not doing it. I'm not going up there, by the way. But the ROTC is going to rappel from the rafters at the Tucker Center and deliver the game ball for Wednesday evening.
You probably don't know this, but I graduated from our ROTC.
ROTC. I did know that. Yes. Yes.
First lieutenant.
There you go. Well, thank you, sir. We appreciate that very much.
For my service?
Yes, sir. That's exactly right. So make sure to arrive early to see that, as the FSU Army ROTC will deliver the game ball from the rafters on Wednesday night. And keep an eye out for the FSU Spirit Drum on the Plaza, by the way, starting at 8 p.m. It's also the Seminole Heritage Game, so bring on the turquoise colors for us Wednesday night. And for North Carolina, it's Big Monday, next Monday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Wear white, everybody. Wear white on Monday night and pack the Tucker Center for Big Monday versus North Carolina. Also a T-shirt giveaway. It all leads up to the regular season finale on Saturday, March the 8th at 4 p.m. It's Senior Day and also Leonard Hamilton Day as well inside the Tucker Center. That's on Saturday, March the 8th. What would it take for you to rappel from the rafters and hand out the game ball?
Well, you're getting too far down the road. Can we just get Miami taken care of on
Wednesday?
Let's
do that. Let's do that.
I can't worry about North Carolina and SMU. We got to take it one game at a time.
Well, let's talk about Miami then. We got the Hurricanes coming to town on Wednesday night. This is a team that our guys have been able to have some solid success against. It's never easy, obviously, when you play Miami. You throw the records out the window. Florida State has won 13 of the last 14 meetings overall against the Hurricanes on the hardwood, and we beat them earlier this year in Coral Gables. Give me your initial thoughts on Wednesday night, Coach.
Well, anytime you play a team that you have beaten 14 or 15 times, they have a lot of pride. And so we can expect to get their best effort. I guarantee you they'll be at their very best. And actually, they won 2 of the last 4 games. Mm-hmm. They are much improved. Their freshmen and their new players have gotten a lot of game time under their belt, and I think they're playing a lot more matured. They were just developing the relationships with a new coach and new players on the team. We got one of their point guard was injured in the first 2 or 3 minutes of the game and didn't play, and then also their center got in foul trouble. So this will be a different team. Matt Cleveland is averaging close to 27 points a game over the last 5 or 6 games. So they'll be at their best, no doubt about that. Yeah. In order for you to be successful in the ACC, regardless of who you're playing, you have to be at your best as well. And hopefully, if the day's practice is an indication of what we're going to do Wednesday night, then I feel encouraged. We had a very good practice today.
You love to hear that. Take me back, Coach, to that first meeting down in Coral Gables. We finished that game out in such impressive fashion, a 30-7 run, and won that game 80-65. What were your takeaways from your team's performance on the road back on January the 7th?
I thought we were really focused. I thought we shared the ball. We shared the minutes, the playing time. And I thought we were extremely determined. We had some things in the scout report that I thought our guys really focused on that allowed us to get some easy buckets, some deflections and steals, and got out and got running and created some offense from my defense. I thought we moved the ball well on offense end. We made the extra pass and created open looks for ourselves. And so that was a really good game for us. But more than anything else, I was impressed with the energy that we played with. We were extremely aggressive, and I thought we gave a full account of ourselves every possession.
Let's get into now our Scott and Wallace keys to success here this week. Scott and Wallace, the official injury lawyers of Florida State Athletics. Scott and Wallace with offices in Tallahassee. You love practice today. I know it's about us. It's about what we do and how we go about our business overall. Kind of take me through the next couple of days preparing for this game and what you want to see.
Well, I thought our players demonstrated that they were not very pleased with the way we played against Clemson. And I think that we'll be more motivated to try to get that bad taste out of our mouths. It was a big different shift in their body language, their facial expressions. I just thought that they were determined that we were going to be that they wanted to get better and have improved practice and prepare ourselves to be at our very best against the University of Miami.
There we go. It'd be Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern. We're on the air on the radio and the audio side at 8:30 p.m. Eastern time on the Seminole Sports Network. And Inside Seminole Basketball brought to you in part by SV Vodka, the official vodka of Florida State Athletics. Crafted for a smooth taste, SV Vodka is 100% vegan, perfect for those who value purity in every sip. Experience the unique blend of tradition and innovation with SV Vodka, the official vodka of Florida State Athletics. Great show already underway here on Monday night. Big week ahead for Leonard Hamilton and his Florida State basketball team. Coming up, we'll talk some more with Coach Ham. Stan Jones will stop by the program, and these guys will talk X's and O's, all things Florida State basketball. That and more on the way when we come back live from Glory Days Grill in Tallahassee. We're back after this timeout.
Basketball.
And we are back as give a shout out for Cole, Karina, and Riley, who are all welcoming us back here live at Glory Days Grill in Tallahassee. Thanks to those three for spending time with us here tonight. We appreciate Cole, Karina, and Riley, a part of Christina Gold's Florida State Spirit Squad. They do a great job getting everybody fired up, and they welcome us back here tonight on Inside Seminole Basketball live from Glory Days Grill in Tallahassee. Well, as we talked about in segment number one, speaking of spending a whole lot of time together throughout the years, the man to your left, Coach, Stan Jones, your associate head coach, you guys have been working together going back all the way to your time at Miami with the Washington Wizards in the NBA and all 23 years together here at Florida State University. That there's a lot of stories to be told, I would imagine.
Well, I hope Stan doesn't tell most of them, because some of them probably will be X-rated. As coaches, sometimes we emotional creatures, and sometimes when we having our frank discussions, sometimes it's not for the faint of heart.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But no, when I started looking for someone to fill that position, I wanted to find a guy who with experience with teaching and development. I wanted someone in high school, someone who I thought had the patience to deal with, the development of young people. And so his name kept coming up. And so the more I did my investigating, I found out that he would be a good fit for what we needed at the University of Miami. And he's been my sidekick ever since.
Coach, it's great to see you. Coach Jones, as always, you pulled me aside on Wednesday night in Winston-Salem, and you told me that this was the venue where you first met Leonard Hamilton. Tell us that story a little bit. What do you remember about that day?
Well, first off, I know he didn't remember it. Because I think the only reason he's kept me around is I'm his extended memory.
There you go.
We were talking about the other night when we fouled Wake Forest with the three-point shot. I said, that happened one other time at the Tucker Center back 20 years ago when Chris Paul and those guys were playing Wake, and we fouled a three-point shooter there, and we still won that game too. Yeah. So he had no recollection of that. But
try to forget that one, Coach.
Back those days, the AAU National Tournament was the big thing for recruiting in the summer, and I was coaching the first team from the state of Mississippi where the black athletes and the white athletes played together. Yeah. And we had the state championship team, and we had a team playing in the national tournament. And our first game was on one of the courts they were having there in the Wake Forest Arena. And those days the coaches were allowed to come over and speak to the AAU coaches and interact and give notes to the players. They had all kind of stuff going on back in the day.
Yeah.
And
not me.
I can tell you what he had, though. He had a bunch of quarters because he was on the payphone all the time because we didn't have cell phones back then. But he came over and asked about a couple of our guys, and 5 weeks later I was hired to be with him at the University of Miami by divine intervention. And the only thing that I seen was Hamilton over tonight. I remember going to his house when I was on the interview there, and it was just tagging along. He really has a unique way of interviewing. And I met Miss Claudette, and she's kind of, I could tell the look in her face was, do you really know what you're getting into? And so that's the beginning story of that. But there's a lot of faith steps that happened on that for how that all sequenced out in a 5-week period of time. And that's been a blessing to me and my family to be part of Coach Hamilton's journey here for the last 29 or 30 years.
Yeah.
Now, Jeff, it didn't hurt, though, that he was also coaching a kid named Mario Bland on the AAU circuit. He was a pretty good basketball
He's pretty
player.
good.
I think he started off 4 years.
Yeah, not too bad, right? Not too bad of a
That
player.
didn't have a lot to do with it, but it had all to do with it.
Yes, there
not,
you go.
Not really
Yeah.
being facetious, but I recognize the fact that when you have the patience to coach high school and AAU ball, that's a unique type of position you need to be in, because you have to be extremely patient sometimes with kids at that early age. And so I specifically was looking for the skill set that he had, and it's worked out pretty good over the years.
It really has.
And I want to actually fact check that. I'm the fact check guy on the staff,
Yeah,
by
you
the
are.
way.
Yeah.
You made a comment that Coach Hamlin 436 wins at Florida State.
Yeah.
Wait, he has to say that? I've been on the bench with him to see 458 losses of the other team. So
There you go.
So we made 458 teams lose. So they don't count losses at the next level. So
I like that. I like that there. Stan Jones with us. He's been with Leonard Hamlin. These two guys have been with one another every step of the way. Stan Jones in his 29th season as an assistant coach at the collegiate level, longest tenured assistant coach in the Atlantic Coast Conference. And I tell you, when this guy has the grease board going, Coach, he's pretty darn good, isn't he? When he needs something.
No doubt about that. He's been my out of bounds guy for many, many years.
Yeah.
He calls all my out of bounds plays. He has a knack for having a feel for what needs to be done at the right time. And what I was fortunate as an assistant coach to work for the late Leighton Kelly, and he gave me so much responsibility as a 23-year-old graduate student that he was forced to give me that responsibility because the full-time assistant coach became ill. But it was so valuable to me to have that experience. And then going to Kentucky, Joe Hall gave me a lot of it, opportunity to be intimately involved with every phase of the program. And that was just only natural for me. So I've always tried to give my assistants as much responsibility as they possibly could have, just because I just know that someday they could utilize that with their own teams. I mean, Bill Self and Dennis Gates and Enfield. And, I mean, the list goes on and on of guys who have been able to come into our program and get involved in every aspect of it. And Stan has done a good job in those areas.
Coach Jones, what do you appreciate the most about the way you guys have done it and the success that you have had over the years?
Well, appreciative, number one, is the role that coaches. I'm the luckiest assistant coach in the country. I feel things kind of sentimental. I'm looking over here to my left, and I see a Mississippi State thing going on over here. That's where I was coaching after the Washington Wizards, and I know things come in your life for that way, but Coach Hamlin's been one of those leaders, and you don't find this in society hardly at all anymore, where if things go well, he gives you all the credit, and if things don't go well, he takes all the blame. And when you work for somebody like that, you're willing to fight for him even when he's not in the room. And I think that's the key to leadership, is you surround yourself with people who will fight for you when you're not in that room. And I value him because I know he fights for me and my family and my future when I'm not in the room. And so when you have a guy that's that way, and I told every parent in my recruiting meetings and phone calls over the year that's as good a basketball man as he is, he's a much better molder of people. Yeah. And he's molded my life in a lot of ways, and I'm just glad he's kept me around.
There you go. You guys have been together for a lot of great moments, a lot of memories, that's for darn sure, and a lot of W's. There's no question about that. Coach, coming up here, Coach Jones, next 6 games. Coach talked about practice today. Great practice, and Miami coming up on Wednesday night. It's always a big game, regardless of where we're at in the season or what's going on with either team. It's a big one we got coming up here in 48 hours.
Well, again, I tend to be the perspective guy in the office with Coach. So he uses the word great. I would say it was a step in the right direction on getting ready for Miami. So I try to keep it between the roads so we keep making progress, because we got a big challenge in to get the rivalry game the last time in Miami. And obviously we have history with Miami and that kind of stuff. So we'd really like to have our guys go out there and give a huge effort on Wednesday night and get this 15th win out of the last 16 against Miami.
There you go.
Well, it takes on an added importance when someone on your staff like Jake Morton actually played at Miami for 4 years, and I think he was there for 9 years. So it means an awful lot to him. This is his game preparation, And so he's a little emotional. And don't ask our players, but I think they would tell you that he's a little emotional about this one. So he's put his heart and soul into preparation. But that's what competition is all about. In the ACC, really, you have to be at a certain mental and emotional level to go out and be able to physically go out and deliver. And if today's practice was any indication of the focus that our guys have, then I feel like we're moving in the right direction.
Coach Dan, final thoughts before we let you go here in this segment as we get ready for Miami, and also what Florida State and your time in Tallahassee have meant to you overall in your career.
Well, I mean, it's a big part. It's the biggest part of my coaching career. It's the 48th team I've been able to coach this year, all the way back to when I was turning 18, coaching the 6th grade team, and then moving up through the high school ranks as a head coach, and then all these years helping coach and being able to have an experience. But if you were able to go back where I started, you wouldn't believe I would have these opportunities. And that's what I wear a shirt with faith. I wouldn't have these rings that we were able to get here at Florida State and the other places with Coach. And it's just been a blessed journey for me. And whatever the steps are for me next, I know they'll be there. And but the next step needs to be beat Miami on Wednesday night.
There we go. I like to say that Stan Jones has forgotten more basketball than guys like us have ever known about. So it's always a pleasure talking with you about all topics, but certainly about hoops. Thanks for coming up, Coach, and joining us tonight.
You're my Cole Haan brother.
Cole Haan, that's right. This guy knows how to dress, too, on game day. Shoe game is on point. Give it up for Stan Jones, everybody. Florida State associate head coach stopping by here with us tonight on the program. Hey, when you work with someone who knows a lot and cares even more, you're unstoppable, so start feeling like it today. Visit Truist.com/care. Truist, leaders in banking, unwavering in care. Truist Bank, member FDIC. Coming up next, it is our fan question from the crowd. And yes, we do have a special guest that will stop by the program coming up a little bit later on. Miss Claudette Hamilton is with us on the show coming up a little bit later on here tonight. Stay with us. That and more on the way, live from Glory Days in Tallahassee. We're back after this timeout. Welcome back. Glory Days Grill here in Tallahassee, inside Seminole basketball with the head coach Leonard Hamilton. We have a fun show here tonight. Big thank you to Stan Jones for stopping by. Coming up a little bit later on, we'll hear from some of our Florida State players. The entire team is in attendance tonight. But can everybody please give a big Seminole welcome to Mrs. Claudette Hamilton, everybody.
Thank you. Yes, I have all the secrets.
Yes! I love to hear it.
Yes.
Miss Claudette, it's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for
Thanks
taking the
having
time
us.
to join us on the show. We have this segment on every show, most every show, where we have a question from the crowd.
Okay.
And we thought it would be appropriate with Coach's, final Coach's show tonight,
Yes.
that you would be our person that could ask Coach a question from the crowd. So, Miss Claudette, the floor is yours. Take it
Well,
away. Yes, go ahead.
I do have a question for Leonard.
Okay.
Yes, I do for Honey. The question is, how many years have you been coaching? That's the first question.
Since 1971.
Okay. And since 1971, would you say that you've been out of the house about half the time, most of the time, all of the time? Which one?
Well, I would say I haven't been at home very much.
Okay.
I don't know if I can put a percentage on it. It might be embarrassing.
Okay. Well, this question is, what strategic plan do you have after you come home that last day from coaching to the house? What is the plan on the daily? What are we going to do? Well, I should say, what are you going to do?
Okay. Well, I said once in a church that I was speaking at that when I hang my whistle up, I wanted to be an AAU head basketball coach. Why y'all laughing? Well, I wanted to be a gospel singer. But the one problem is I don't have any real vocal talent, so
Well,
I'm not real sure that's gonna work. Okay.
He just has to find the keys somewhere.
And I want to learn how to play a piano, and I want to learn how to play a guitar.
Okay.
Those are two goals of mine. And then, I figure that since you brought up the point that I have not spent very much time at home,
Yeah.
then I thought maybe you might want to spend a little time with me.
Yes. That might be a good idea. Good idea.
Well, you say that in public, but I'm not real sure. I'm watching TV. My show is on. It's too late. I'm going to bed.
We need therapy, do you? We will need therapy. Help us.
Miss-
It'll be great.
Miss Claudette, I will
Yes.
say I have heard the legends of Coach Hamilton's cooking. I've heard
yeah.
the legends of that.
Yes.
Yes? Is that true, guys? Have you guys? Yeah, the Coach Ham's cooking. What meal would you like Coach Hamilton to cook you? The first
Me?
meal, yes, at home.
Okay. I would like for Leonard to cook me. I really like turkey and dressing, so I would really like for him to cook the turkey and just a great dressing.
That's right in your wheelhouse.
Mashed potatoes, and not only that, but invite everyone over.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yes.
Everybody over.
Yes, I like it. I like that.
Because he's always talking about his cooking, right?
That's
I mean,
right.
he's always talking about, oh, I cook this, I cook that, I can make the mac and cheese, I can do the corn pudding, all of that. So we need to put him to the test. Would you say? Let's put him to the test.
Well,
All right, honey.
Well, I'll accept that challenge.
Okay.
I'll accept that challenge.
Okay.
I have some specialties.
He does. He
It's-
does.
And I'm the best male cook east of the Mississippi River.
He thinks so, yes. He
So
thinks so.
I'll
Yeah.
I'll handle my business.
Yeah.
But my players, what they say? Stand on what? Yeah, I'm a stand on business.
That's good. I like it.
I love it.
like that.
I love it.
Okay.
Thank you so
Thank
much, Miss
you.
Claudette, for joining us and being a part of the show and everything you've meant to Florida State University over the years.
Thank
you
you
so
so
much.
much.
Thank you. Please, everyone, Miss Claudette Hamilton with us here. Our fan question from the crowd tonight. That had to be your favorite one, right?
Oh my goodness. but what about that hot seat?
You said you were ready.
Yeah, but I'm on the hot seat just about every other day, and sometimes twice on Sunday.
Oh, my goodness. That was fantastic. A big thank you to Claudette Hamilton for kindly joining us here tonight, a part of the show. We'll talk some basketball when we come back. How about that? We're gonna literally get back to basketball and talk some hoops with you. What do you think?
I'm up for that.
You're up for that.
No, I'm standing on business.
There you go. There it is. Standing on business right there. Leonard Hamilton will get back to talking about hoops here on the other side. Hey, did you know that FSU Athletics is self-supported, is not funded by tax dollars? Because of this, we rely on fans to join Seminole Boosters so your teams have the best possible chance to achieve success on and off the court. Seminole Booster membership starts at $5 per month and comes with great membership benefits. Go online to SeminoleBoosters.com to learn more or join. That's SeminoleBoosters.com. Coming up, we'll talk with Coach Ham about some of his memories of his great teams, but also there's a topic that was brought up this past weekend about expansion of the NCAA tournament. I know Coach has had some thoughts on that. We'll discuss with Coach Hamilton and more on the other side. Back from Glory Days Grill when we return after this timeout.
Basketball.
And we return to Glory Days Grill in Tallahassee. There's a shot of forever the voice of the Seminoles. Give it up for Gene Deckerhoff in attendance with his lovely wife, Miss Ann. Keith Jones here tonight as well in their booth. Longtime Florida State basketball radio team right there. Gino, KJ, getting it done. Gene Deckerhoff, Keith Jones. Those guys in the house tonight for you tonight,
Wow,
Coach Ham.
Big Keith. Yeah, I didn't see him over there hiding.
Miss Ham blowing you kisses. There we go, saying hello.
There you go.
There we go. Good to see you guys. We appreciate the forever voice of the Seminoles, Gene Deckerhoff, Keith Jones, with us here. All-American Hall of Famer football player at Florida State University, a part of the Seminole Sports Network basketball radio team. All right, Coach, I'm sure you probably saw it over the weekend, but there was a discussion from Pete Thamel of ESPN reporting that we may see some expansion to the NCAA basketball tournament, and 76 is the number they are throwing out there. I know when you think about that's something that you are in support of, and you've had some ideas about that over the years.
Well, when you think about it, it started up many years ago. It was 16, 24, I think it was 32, 48, and now it's 68. 68. And every year it's gotten bigger and better. And so I'm not real sure there's any reason why we couldn't double it. Mm-hmm. Because we already play a play-in game. So if everybody plays on the same number of days that we play now, in one night, you back to 68.
Yeah.
In one night. I mean, and you don't have to, the top seeded people play at home. I just think it's such a great event, and I think it's the greatest sporting event in the world. Mm-hmm. And you think about the excitement that exists in everybody's hometown, on everybody's college campus. So why not let other folks enjoy it? And I've gotten comments about, well, it'd be watered down. Well, it wouldn't be watered down if your team makes the tournament.
Yeah, exactly.
In your environment, it might be watered down to somebody sitting behind some desk that may be trying to judge something. Mm-hmm. But for the people involved, there's no way it would be watered down. In fact, I think it would be more exciting, and I also think that it would provide more benefits, more excitement, more money. And I think I don't see anything negative about it at all.
Yeah.
76 to me is not enough.
Yeah, that's the number they're talking about, and we will see how that discussion continues to develop here throughout the coming weeks and months with regard to the NCAA tournament. Coming up next here on Inside Seminole Basketball Live from Glory Days Grill in Tallahassee, we'll hear from some of Leonard Hamilton's players. They'll stop by and present Coach with a gift as well on the program. That's on the way, as our program brought to you in part by Carver's Discount Cleaners, Mean on Stains, Green on Earth. Try new Eco Green Dry Cleaning at Carver's Discount Cleaners, 1215 North Monroe Street in Midtown here in Tallahassee. Coming up, we'll hear from the Seminoles that are in attendance. Can't wait for that. That more on the way. Back up to this time out, live from Glory Days Grill in Tallahassee. All right, we're cooking along here on Monday night here at Glory Days Grill in Tallahassee. Welcome back to Inside Seminole Basketball. We've had a fun show here this evening as we talk all things Florida State hoops. Here with us now in this segment of the program, and they've got an item for their head coach, Leonard Hamilton. Speaking with us, Chandler Jackson, Jesse Jones. Chandler, take it away, my friend. Take it away. What do you got for us?
Right here, we got something special for Coach Ham. It's a gift for you from your last team. It's all of our signatures. Wow. Thank you, Coach Ham, for everything. You always have something to remember us by, our signatures. Maybe you could sell that one day once we all get to the NBA. Who knows? It'll be worth something. But thank you, Coach Ham, for everything you've done. Thank you for impacting our lives. Thank you for being an amazing coach and also amazing person. And I'm never gonna forget your stories you tell. I love your stories. Thank you for telling those stories every day.
There we go, right there.
Wow. Thank you so much. From the bottom of my heart, I want to tell you how much I appreciate this. Yeah, we go through our journey as coaches and players and developing those relationships, it's hard to understand how much we have to care about you guys, not only as players now, but your career and your futures. And when we pray, I pray for your mind, your spirit, your soul, your career, your future, because I want you guys to enjoy the most out of this experience that you can. So thank you very much. It means an awful lot to me. And all the jokes I tell you guys and all the little smart, cute things I say, it's because I love you.
There you go.
Thank y'all very much. Appreciate you.
You have a favorite joke that he tells? Story?
It's too many. It's way too many. I don't know. I can't think off the top of my head. It's so many, but every day, I'm not gonna lie, Coach Han, you tell us the same story every day. So all 16 of us, we all know every story, and I think we enjoy them because we laugh every time. So I'm speaking for us on this one. We enjoy your stories, even though we know how it's gonna go. We enjoy them every single time. Every single time. Thank you, Coach Han.
Thank you, Chandler, very much for coming up here. Chandler Jackson and Jesse Jones, ladies and gentlemen, for bringing Leonard Hamilton a signed basketball from his squad here this year. We got to get to a timeout. We'll come back, wrap up the show. Florida State Athletics would like to thank Grassroots Coffee for their support of Florida State basketball. Order from Grassroots Coffee for your home or business today at grassrootscoffee.com or find it at a store, restaurant, or coffee shop near you. Grassroots Coffee, made for everyone, loved everywhere. We'll come back, wrap things up on the program after this timeout. Back at Glory Days Grill in Tallahassee for one more segment.
Inside Seminole Basketball.
What a show we've had tonight. One final time at Glory Days Grill here in Tallahassee. An all-star selection of food, drinks, of course. The entire team is here. The team, the staff, managers, assistants, everybody with us here tonight and showing love and support for Coach Ham and all things Florida State basketball. Can we give a big round of applause as well for our team at Seminole Productions, putting this show on each and every Monday night. Kirby Kander, Jay Seibel, Jacob Varga, Meredith Grimm, Jack Cavavit, Wes McCall, Brian Graves, Sam Collins, Daniel Moreno, Jordan Stone, Samantha Morris, Maverick Abalone, Lance Cook, and Andrew Zock, streaming coordinators. And a big shout out to my guys, Chris Culp, everybody, our engineer on the radio side. What a show it's been. Coach, you got about 30 seconds. I apologize to cut you short here. But I know this has been fun tonight, and we are looking forward to Wednesday night against Miami inside the Tucker Center.
Well, we want everybody to come out and let's do something really, really bad to the Hurricanes.
There we go. I like to hear that. I like to hear that. We'll get it going on Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern tip. Coach, thanks so much tonight for being a part of the show, and we look forward to seeing your team Wednesday night.
Thank you very much.
There you go. Give it up, everybody, for the head coach, Leonard Hamilton. What a fun show we had tonight. The entire team here in attendance, everybody joining us in the crowd. A big thanks to Stan Jones, Miss Claudette Hamilton, and so many more. Thanks to our entire crew as well for making the show happen every single Monday night. Thanks for coming out. Thanks to Glory Days. That's going to do it. We'll see you Wednesday night at the Tuck, everybody. And as always, go Noles!